The Mazda CX-30 impresses the automotive community with its wonderful aesthetics and amazing driving dynamics. But how does owning a crossover like this really look like? Well, there are a few uncomfortable truths that make a significant impact on the overall ownership experience. Let's check out 6 reasons why it sucks to own a Mazda CX-30. Number 6. Cramped rear seats. Let's start with something you'll notice if you regularly carry adult passengers. While the CX-30 offers excellent front seat comfort with quality materials and good support, the rear seats tell a different story. Professional reviewers consistently point out that while this SUV can technically fit 5 people, the rear seating is really only comfortable for 2 average-sized adults at best. The numbers show the challenge. 36.3 inches of rear legroom is about average for the class, but competitors like the Honda HR-V offer 39.3 inches, and the Kia Seltos provides 38 inches. That difference becomes noticeable during longer trips. To be fair, the rear seats work fine for children and shorter adults, but taller passengers might find themselves uncomfortable. The issue becomes more apparent on family road trips. Adult passengers find their knees approaching the front seats, and accessing the rear to help children requires some maneuvering. While the front cabin feels spacious and well-designed, the rear doesn't match that same level of comfort. This creates situations where front passengers might need to adjust their seats forward to give rear passengers more room. For families with young children, this isn't necessarily a deal breaker. The space works adequately for car seats and smaller passengers. However, as children grow into their teenage years, the rear seating limitations become more noticeable. The CX-30 excels as a vehicle for couples or small families, but it's not ideal for regularly transporting 4 or 5 full-sized adults. Number 5. Small cargo area. While the CX-30 impresses with its stylish exterior design and quality interior materials, cargo space reveals one of its practical limitations. Professional measurements show 13.7 to 20.2 cubic feet behind the rear seats depending on configuration. Compare that to the Kia Seltos with 26.6 cubic feet or the Honda HR-V with 24.3 cubic feet, and the difference is significant. The cargo area works fine for daily errands, grocery shopping, and typical family needs. However, owners with active lifestyles discover the limitations quickly. One owner noted that even an extra small mountain bike couldn't fit without removing a wheel. The cargo area's angled design restricts vertical space, making it challenging to load taller items. For routine use, the space is adequate. It handles weekly grocery runs and typical family cargo without issues. The challenge comes when you need to combine regular storage with larger items or when taking longer trips requiring more luggage. The CX-30's strength lies in urban driving and daily commuting, rather than serving as a cargo hauler. Mazda designed the CX-30 to prioritize style and driving dynamics over maximum utility, and in that context, the cargo limitation makes sense. However, potential buyers should understand this trade-off. If you primarily use your SUV for commuting and occasional weekend trips, the space works fine. If you regularly haul sports equipment or larger items, you might want to consider the slightly larger CX-5. Number 4. Disappointing fuel economy. Despite the CX-30's efficient-looking size and Mazda's focus on engineering optimization, fuel economy doesn't quite meet expectations for a subcompact SUV. The base engine achieves 29 miles per gallon combined, while the turbocharged version drops to 25 miles per gallon. While these numbers aren't terrible, they fall short of what many buyers expect from a vehicle this size. The CX-30's engaging driving dynamics and responsive engines come with a trade-off in efficiency. Many owners noted that the fuel economy feels modest for the vehicle's size, comparable to larger SUVs. Professional reviewers consistently mention below-average fuel economy as a consideration, though they also praise the CX-30's driving experience. The 12.7-gallon fuel tank compounds the efficiency concerns. Combined with the moderate fuel economy, you're looking at more frequent gas station visits than some competitors. However, for drivers who prioritize driving enjoyment over maximum efficiency, the CX-30's responsive engines and engaging character might justify the trade-off. In fairness, the CX-30 delivers on driving satisfaction. The engines feel lively, and the vehicle responds well to driver input. The fuel economy becomes more acceptable when you consider the engaging driving experience. Compared to competitors like the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid with 42 miles per gallon combined, the Mazda falls short on paper, but it offers a more engaging driving experience that some buyers prefer. Number 3. Learning curve with tech. The CX-30 features a well-built interior with quality materials and an attention to detail that many competitors can't match. However, Mazda's approach to infotainment control creates a learning curve that some owners find frustrating. The rotary dial system works well once you understand it, but it requires adaptation for drivers used to touchscreen interfaces. Using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto takes some getting used to. The rotary knob that handles basic functions adequately becomes less intuitive when navigating smartphone apps. Some owners appreciate the system once they learn it, noting that it allows them to keep their eyes on the road rather than looking at a screen. However, newcomers often find it slower than conventional touchscreen interfaces. The system isn't inherently bad, it's different. Tasks like changing radio stations or adjusting settings require navigating through menus, which feels complex initially. Professional reviewers note that while the system has a learning curve, it becomes manageable with time. The challenge is that many buyers expect immediate intuitive operation. Mazda's approach prioritizes safety and driver focus, which has merit. The rotary dial allows operation without taking your eyes off the road once you learn the system. However, in a market where touchscreens are standard, the CX-30's interface feels unconventional rather than necessarily better or worse. It's a matter of preference and willingness to adapt to Mazda's unique approach. Number 2. Firm ride quality. The CX-30's suspension tuning reflects Mazda's commitment to engaging driving dynamics, but this creates a trade-off in ride comfort. The suspension feels firmer than many competitors, which contributes to the vehicle's praised handling but can affect comfort on longer drives. Professional reviewers consistently mention the sporty suspension setup as both a strength for handling and a consideration for comfort. The firm ride becomes more noticeable on rough roads or during extended highway driving. Some owners describe the suspension as stiffer than they prefer, though others appreciate the connected feeling it provides. The CX-30 handles corners confidently and feels planted at highway speeds. But this comes at the expense of the cushioned ride some buyers expect from an SUV. This represents a deliberate engineering choice rather than a flaw. Mazda prioritized driving engagement over maximum comfort, which aligns with the brand's focus on driving enjoyment. For buyers who appreciate responsive handling and don't mind a firmer ride, this isn't necessarily a negative. However, those prioritizing comfort might prefer competitors with softer suspension tuning. The ride quality becomes more acceptable when you experience the CX-30's handling benefits. The vehicle feels composed in corners and provides good feedback to the driver. If you enjoy driving and appreciate a more connected feel, the firm suspension makes sense. If you primarily want maximum comfort for daily commuting, softer alternatives might be preferable. Number 1. Some reliability questions. While Mazda generally maintains a strong reputation for reliability, some CX-30 owners have experienced issues that merit attention. The concerns appear more frequent in earlier model years. It's important to note that many owners report positive experiences, but there are enough concerning reports to warrant consideration. Initial model years showed some growing pains. Reports include battery-related issues, some electrical problems, and occasional component failures. These issues don't affect every vehicle, but they appear frequently enough in owner reports to suggest some quality control challenges during early production. More recent model years show improvements as Mazda addressed initial concerns. Turbocharged models brought their own considerations as engines experienced oil consumption issues and various owners reported electrical glitches. While these problems don't define every CX-30 experience, they're worth researching if you're considering these specific model years. Mazda's customer service generally addresses warranty issues appropriately. Recent model years appear more stable, suggesting Mazda has addressed early production issues. However, some owners still report occasional electrical system concerns and infotainment glitches. These issues don't necessarily make the CX-30 unreliable, but they're worth considering alongside Mazda's generally positive reliability reputation. The CX-30 remains a well-engineered vehicle with many positive qualities: attractive styling, engaging driving dynamics, and quality interior materials. However, understanding these potential concerns helps set realistic expectations. Most reliability issues are covered under warranty, and many owners enjoy trouble-free ownership. Researching specific model years and understanding potential issues helps make an informed decision. The CX-30 offers genuine strengths in styling, driving dynamics, and build quality, but these considerations help provide a complete picture for potential buyers. And to be honest, other classmates also have their weaknesses, maybe even bigger ones. Check out this video about the reasons why it sucks to own a Subaru Crosstrek, which you can now see on the screen. Although capable, practical, and versatile, Subaru's entry-level crossover comes with a couple of serious considerations.